Dutch butter, and there ain't no other. I said Dutch butters, there ain't no other. They call it Dutch butters, and there ain't no other. Dutch butters, and there ain't no a big old boulder of a man with big giant hands. A big old boulder of a man with big giant hands. Dutch butters, and there ain't no other. I said Dutch butters, and there ain't no other. They call it Dutch butters, and there ain't no other. Dutch butters, and there ain't no
That is so crazy, dude.
I actually started my stream early with that
It's
intro
the BRANE Show
playing.
coming in. We bring the
Now my
truth when we
countdown's
speak.
going.
Red, white,
I
and
gotta
blue.
go, boys.
The bull stands tall. We the people, united won't fall. We the people as our beat and rhyme. We're dropping old school values every time. Extreme honesty with a fresh twist. Breaking it down, you don't wanna miss. It's freedom talk, loud and proud. Voice of the people, can't be cowed. Every week, we speak our mind. For love of country, it's one of a kind. So grab a seat, let the BRANE Show roll. We're serving up truth, heart and soul. Brian and Shane with that patriot steel. For the people, by the people, of the people, let's go. It's the BRANE Show coming in hot every week. We bring the truth when we speak. Red, white, and blue, the bulls stand tall. We the people, united won't fall. It's the BRANE Show, coming in hot every week. We bring the truth when we speak. Red, white, and blue, the bulls stand tall. We the people, united won't fall. It's the BRANE Show, coming in hot every week. We bring the truth when we speak. Red, white, and blue, the bulls stand tall. We the people, united won't fall. It's the BRANE Show, coming in hot every week. We bring the truth when we speak. Red, white, and blue, the bulls stand tall. We the people, united won't fall. It's the BRANE Show, coming in hot every week. We bring the truth when we speak. Red, white, and blue, the bulls stand tall. We the people, united won't fall. It's the BRANE Show, coming in hot every week. We bring the truth when we speak. Red, white, and blue, the bulls stand tall. We the people, united won't fall.
This is for America!
Shut the fuck up!
Yep. All right.
You know what the problem with Hollywood is? They make shit unbelievable, unremarkable shit.
To those who can hear me, I say, do not despair.
Will you fight? No! We will run! And we will live!
Shame on you. This could be the greatest night of our lives. But you're gonna let it be the worst.
And I guarantee a week won't go by in your life you won't regret walking out, letting them get the best of you.
Well, I'm not going home.
Day may come when the courage of men fails, but it is not this day.
The line must be drawn here. This far, no farther.
I'm not saying it's gonna be easy.
You're gonna work harder than you ever worked before.
I really do believe that together we can accomplish anything.
Because we'll never stop learning and we'll never stop growing.
Failure is not an option.
That's how winning is done.
Believe me when I say
We can break this army here. It has made us brothers.
I say to you, what every warrior has known since the beginning of time. You've got to get mad.
I mean plumb mad dog mean.
If you would be free men, then you must
Fight to fulfill that promise. Let us
Cut out their living guts.
1 inch at a time.
And they will know what we can do!
let no man forget how menacing we are. We are lions. This is your time.
Seize the day.
never surrender.
Victory or death.
So come on then! Take it!
This is where we hold them. This is where we fight.
All right, let's fly! My name is the Lord. When I tell our enemies that they may take our lives, but they'll never take our Independence Day.
You, the people, have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world.
We don't sleep to dream, we sleep to build stamina, energy to do our thing. Get your camera up. This show is about to begin, so sit down and buckle it in. Let's go! My name is Brian, that is John. You are watching the BRANE Show. Shane cannot make it today, unfortunately. But you know what? You got us. You know, I want to invite, oh, no, that's not the right word. Say thank you to all the people that just came from the Salty Nerd Show. This is like the official Salty Nerd after party show. And so I definitely wanted to play the end of that show here. And I wanted to show some of you all that did not see the intro for the Salty Show, because maybe you didn't go onto the channel early. I want you to see what we did for Dutch, me and Dutch. I think it's pretty funny, and I'm not sure if John saw it yet, but here we go.
Oh, I saw it. Yeah.
No, you saw it?
This is what you call the gay malware, mate, and you're spreading it everywhere.
I'm spreading the gay malware. All right, so it's 30 seconds. This was the intro to the Salty Saturday show today. Here we go. Enough of this game malware.
Do you know that Dutch is going to be walking out in Vegas, and suddenly he's going to have like a gay pride march going on behind him?
So today, my friends, we are talking about the SNAP program, because today is the official day that the SNAP benefits have been cut off. If you don't know what SNAP is, it's basically food stamps. So a lot of people are freaking out, and I'm going to try to explain to you, even though Shane is better to explain this, but he can't be here. I'm going to explain to you exactly why this is happening, who it affects, and how it can be corrected. And I don't think any of you are going to be shocked by this, but I also want to go through a lot of the misinformation coming out there. And it's malicious misinformation from a lot of malicious, dumb people. Also, Elon Musk was on Joe Rogan yesterday, and of course, aliens came up, so we're going to definitely talk about that. We have to talk about the aliens, because that's...
Oh, yeah, we've got to do it. It's what we do.
It's what we do. It's what we do. And of course, the spacecraft, what's it called? 3i Atlas, all of a sudden making a course correction, which is not something that asteroids do. So that's weird. I don't know. There's a lot of conspiracy theories right now, because apparently they predicted, like, in 2026, I think it was, the alien reveal. And the ChatGPT said that by 2036, like, it's there's a whole thing to it. We'll get into it.
Yeah.
Anyways, also there's some stuff going on in the UK as usual, and not because John's here, we have to talk about.
Is there really?
The Islamification of the UK is in full effect, and now we're seeing it in the States. So obviously we have to talk about that, and a bunch of other cool stuff. But that's what we're talking about today. I want to thank you guys for being here. You guys are awesome. If you do me a favor, if you're not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. And if you haven't already liked this stream, hit the like button while you're here. And if you have a hype option, which I do not have the hype option yet, also you can hype this stream. It's pretty great. We're going to try to release more clips throughout the week, but really this channel has been dedicated to live streams almost exclusively. John, how you doing today, brother?
I am doing very well, my friend. I got back from the gym about an hour and a bit ago. I feel great. I feel pumped. I feel ready to rock. Let's do it. Let's go for it tonight.
All right. Well, now you heard about the Doctor Who thing, right? We talked about today on Salty Nerd.
Yeah.
But Disney dropped them, but really, really interesting. I think Doctor Who needs to take a long break.
My friend Brendan on the SenseSphere podcast on YouTube, he's got some insider sources, and they've effectively said, mate, that Disney were out after the first season 1 episode, Space Babies. Now, if anybody hasn't watched it and you're thinking, what kind of an episode is Space Babies? Trust me, it's even worse than the title gives it credit for. So no wonder Disney pulled the plug on it. And I agree with you, mate. It needs to go away for at least, I've said before, it needs to go away for at least 5 to 10 years, where people will miss it potentially, and they need to retcon Jodie Whittaker onwards. Otherwise, it's done.
Yeah, they're not going to do that. No, they're not going to erase the gay black guy. That's not going to happen. All right. Well, enough about garbage Who. Let's talk about Snap and some garbage Democrats. I did want to get into this one first. I'm not sure how far deep we're going to go, but I want to explain to everyone what's happening. I'm sorry, guys. My voice is completely gone. Yesterday, I worked for like 15 hours straight at a live event. And of course, you know me, I was the MC. And so that meant that I was on a microphone screaming through a really bad outdoor sound system for like 9 hours straight just to keep about 1,000 people entertained. And so today I'm really paying for it. I woke up this morning and I didn't send you any show stuff from yesterday, right? So I woke up this morning just wrecked, my body broken. I am no longer a young man. And you cannot work physically for 15 hours and then do like pretty much what is akin to a 6-hour stand-up special outside surrounded by hay barrels, because it was a October harvest thing. Yeah. And it was just messing with my lungs, and I'm just like, to be fair, everyone had a great time. I made a lot of people laugh. It was good times. But I'm paying for it, dude. I'm broken. Every part of me hurts.
No doubt. Well, the thing is, what people don't realize is by the time you get to next week, Brian's voice will be very feminine, so it will go perfectly with that trailer he showed a few minutes ago.
So my voice is a little shot today, so I'm sorry if I clear my throat a lot and have to enunciate specific words. I literally, I have like a permanent sore right now. The back of my throat just hurts.
You're doing fine, man.
But we're going to do our best. Okay, so let me explain. SNAP is basically food stamps. If you guys remember growing up, food stamps were what the government gave out so that people, low-income families, can buy food. And I'm not against SNAP or food stamps whatsoever. Well, before I get into that, is there a version of this in the UK?
I'm not sure if there still is. There used to be, definitely, where a similar thing. You would get food vouchers for underprivileged people that families could go and buy stuff with. So I'm not sure if it's still about, but yeah, we had a similar thing.
I think it's interesting because John doesn't know because he doesn't use it.
Yeah, well, I live in a ditch, you know. Yeah. I'm so far down the rung, mate. They're not even going to look at me.
They don't give it to homeless people, so
they just flick some cigar buds at me as they drive past.
So SNAP stands for Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, and that acronym has actually been a very interesting, controversial acronym because it's supplemental nutrition assistance. But most people that are on SNAP don't use it for supplemental nutrition. They use it for all of their food. In fact, not only that, is sometimes they will sell their quote-unquote food stamps, their SNAP benefits, to neighbors and friends for cash. And it's really interesting what happens is they go, well, I got a couple $1,000s in my SNAP card. I will give you $500 that you can use at the store if you give me $200 cash. And so a lot of people will do that. They will literally sell their benefits. Additionally, it's being used to buy stuff like McDonald's and Wendy's and fast food and 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven, the liquor store, takes SNAP, which makes no sense. And I've said before, I have no problem with SNAP. I think SNAP's fine. I think that having a supplemental assistance program for low-income families is good. I have no issue with my tax dollars going towards that whatsoever. But that money should not be being used at liquor stores. It shouldn't be being used at McDonald's and fast food. Maybe some fast food having it makes sense for families that are in a hurry. I get it. But if you're in a hurry to get to work or school, then you have a job. Maybe you shouldn't be getting SNAP in the first place then. But I don't know all the ins and outs of people's lives. I do know that if you want to buy cookies at a 7-Eleven, a liquor store, those cookies are about 800% more expensive than they could be if you bought the ingredients for those cookies from a grocery store and cooked them or baked them. If you bought the sugar and the eggs and the flour and the chocolate chips and you went home and you baked 5 dozen eggs, it would cost you the same as buying a dozen cookies at a liquor store, because that's the whole point of the markup is they bake the cookies for this much and they sell it for 600% more than they should be. So you're essentially spending taxpayer money. You're poorly spending taxpayer money on something that shouldn't be a supplemental assistance. But if it is, you should be buying those ingredients and cooking them yourself, especially if, let's say, you're a stay-at-home mom, or you don't have a job, or you're disabled, or whatever. It actually makes more sense for you to have the time to cook for your family. The convenience of going to a liquor store or a gas station or a fast food joint, that convenience is usually because you're working and you're busy. So you're trading spending additional money for the time it would take you to make that food. Not everyone's good with money or time, and I get that. But that doesn't mean we should be wasting money, and especially taxpayer money. That's not their money. If you want to waste your own money, go for it. But taxpayer money shouldn't be used for that thing. So that's my whole position on SNAP. I think it should exist. I think food stamps are good. I think having assistance programs for people that can't afford it, for young families, for poor families, for low-income people, 100% all good. I have no problem with it. But what's happening with the SNAP benefits right now is a lot of people are freaking out because as of today, SNAP benefits have been paused in a lot of places, except for the states that conveniently found money to fund it.
Yes.
And what's really funny is the states that did find money to fund it are mostly red states that didn't waste their budget on other nonsense. Unlike California, which is always on the verge of bankruptcy and needs a ton of money from the federal government to just exist. Partly because they don't know how to spend their money. Like we talked about this before. Remember the bullet train, the high-speed rail. They've spent how much money on this now? Billions of dollars, and have produced nothing. Well, California is bad at spending money.
They know how to spend it. They just choose to either spend it or siphon it off to their mates and their little clique.
Yeah, that's what's going on. When you go, well, maybe there's a reason why the high-speed rail, which has been happening since the late 90s, has only produced maybe a few hundred feet of track. Maybe there's a reason why it still has 20 more years of development and they need another $80 billion. You're like, yeah, the reason is they're spending it on themselves.
Yeah.
Like, they need to hire this consultant as an environmental consultant. He got $20 million. And this other person, and all these planning people, and all these government information, and the businesses that are in bed with them. And
this is a very rare form of grass. We can't construct here.
Right.
We'll have to move around.
Yeah, we need consultants. What kind of material should we use? Should we use this metal? Like, in the meantime, a dude like in his backyard for like $40 and some stuff he found off Craigslist for free could have built more track. It makes no sense.
You're talking about me
in your ditch. The thing is, a lot of blue states are really bad at spending money, and you got to ask yourself, why is it so particular to blue states? Well, it's because they have so many programs and stuff that have no actual value. That is, people think, oh, well, it's for serving these communities that need help. When in reality, it's just about lining the pockets of corrupt people. And they utilize your empathy toward low-income communities or gay and lesbian communities, minority communities, whatever. They use your empathy and they turn that empathy against you because you don't want to speak out against Planned Parenthood. Oh, no. They're trying to do their best. Well, they're not doing their best. It's that whole organization is hyper-corrupt. Don't you find it weird that Planned Parenthood will donate to a Democrat's political ads and a Democrat's, very specifically a Democrat's political run for office, while they're also accepting money from the government in subsidies?
Funny that.
It's weird. Like, how can an organization donate to a political, company or person while also taking money from the government? Makes no sense. So a lot of these states have an issue with corruption, and they utilize your empathy. They weaponize your empathy so that you don't feel like you can speak out against it because, well, those people need it. Those people are poor. Those people are marginalized. Whatever. That's called toxic empathy. They are utilizing your empathy as a weapon because you're a kind person, because you know that people have different problems and mental issues or drug addictions. They're trying to get through it. They have kids and they're trying to feed their kids. Their husband died or left and they're trying to make it work. And I get it. Look, yeah. I donate my time weekly to community center. I care about people. For a lot of these liberal retards that rage and re-out to me in comments and on replies on Twitter have never sat in a hot food bank handing out food. Have never stood in a hot, sweaty, smelly soup line the day before Thanksgiving giving out food to homeless people. Have never been in the ravines and handed out breakfast burritos and blankets. Have never actually sat with people that have actual addiction issues in 12-step programs like I have and helped them and listen, because most people just need to be listened to. No, you've never hugged people that smelled like human feces and tried to be there for them as they cried about their problems. A lot of the people that complain to me, that rage at me in comments and on this live stream, have never helped a single person outside of themselves. Meanwhile, I do it weekly. So I am uniquely suited to speak about this topic. SNAP benefits are good. However, they are being used wrong. Now, we've gotten all that out of the way. Let's talk about why SNAP benefits are being cut off. Well, because the government shut down. The government shuts down. It happens when the Democrats and the Republicans, when they can't agree on a budget, right?
Yeah.
So you need 60 people to agree on a budget. just to clear the air here, people go, well, it's the Republicans' fault because the Republicans run the House, run the presidency, blah, 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 blah. Hold up. It doesn't matter if there's a majority. They still need 60. There isn't 60 Republicans. So they need 60, which means they need 7 Democrats to come over to their side and vote on this budget. So you guys, well, it must be their problem. Maybe they're trying to cut all these funding, and the Democrats are trying to stop them from cutting health care and food benefits and all these. No, that's not what's happening either. You think that because you're steeped in this crazy liberal logic. They are arguing about health care for illegal immigrants, but that's not what's happening here. The argument they were having, the negotiations for the big beautiful bill and all this budget stuff, what they're doing is they were at an impasse. They were not coming to an agreement. So the Republican side of this decided, well, let's vote for a CR, which is called a continued resolution. If we vote for a continued resolution budget, then we'll keep the government open. Everyone keeps getting their benefits while we argue about the big beautiful bill, all these other spending bills. And they go, no. Now you ask yourself, well, that must be because the continued resolution is bad. No. The continued resolution is just that. It's literally the previous bill, the previous budget, they already agreed on. That they already voted for and agreed on. The one that's in effect, that was already in effect. All the Republicans are asking to do is to agree on the continued resolution so the government doesn't shut down while we argue about this other spending bill. Democrats decided no. They would rather government shut down because they want to get their way. They're basically like children, and they want to get their way, and they're being malicious. And they're holding the government hostage. Holding the government hostage, a.k.a. you. Holding the American people hostage. And they're demanding their ridiculous things to be injected into the spending bill. Meanwhile, they could have easily have voted for the continued resolution, kept the government open, kept these benefits going out to military and to low-income families and all that stuff, while they argued about the spending budget. But they knew if they let the government shut down, then the pressure would be on the Republicans and on the administration to get their demands met. They're literally holding you at gunpoint financially, saying, give me my, and I'll explain, a lot of weird spending ideas they have. Of course, they want to start sending money to other countries again. They want to fund LGBT projects and weird trans projects. They want to give illegal aliens health care. They want to go right back to the craziness that was happening during the Biden administration. So because they want those things, they're holding you at gunpoint. They can easily vote for the continued resolution, keep the government open while they argue, but they know that if they let the government shut down, that the pressure will be on the Republicans to get their crazy stuff into their bill. I'm going to play for you guys a video, and I'm going to get John's reaction to all this. This is what I got. This is from Speaker Mike Johnson.
Shut down that everybody needs to recognize. Here's 4 of them. First of all, we have to have Democrats to reopen the government. You know that in the Senate it requires 60 votes to break an impasse. Hang it on, Lily, hold it real here. Keep it close to the podium. I want everybody to see this, okay? We're going to make it simple. I had my 15-year-old son and some of his friends were together over the weekend, and they wanted me to explain it to them as simply as possible. This is the little formulation, okay? Hey, fellas, remember from civics, you got to have 60 votes in the Senate. We only have 53 Republicans, so we must have Democrats to do it. The Democrats...
Pause it real quick. Like I said earlier, there's 53 Republicans. They need 60 votes. So just because the Republicans are the majority doesn't mean they can just pass whatever they want. So they can't make this happen without some kind of bipartisan support. They need some people across the aisle to work with them, period. And Democrats aren't going to do that. They're lockstep right now. There's actually one Democrat did, which is surprising. The one Democrat that got hurt, got a brain injury, started thinking real Republican. But we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah. They're out trying to claim that this is all on Republicans because we control the government. We don't control the Senate without 60 votes. So you have to have them. Now they've voted 13 times, those Senate Democrats, counting the House and the Senate together, they voted 13 times to keep the government closed. And what they're demanding as a ransom to reopen the government are some really crazy things. They want to restore $200 billion in health benefits paid for by U.S. taxpayers to illegal aliens and non-citizens.
All right, let's go. So I was like, I need to confirm this is the case. It absolutely is. People would argue that, well, no, it's to fund, but no, listen. This money is specifically going to states to fund illegal alien healthcare. And you can argue that hospitals are going to treat them anyways, which will put them at risk for money or whatever. But you have to understand what happens here. Ready?
Yeah.
When a hospital is utilizing an insurance, let's say insurance, and they know that this illegal alien is going to be covered under this government insurance, you know what they do? They charge as much as possible. In fact, the whole problem with health insurance is that the same thing that would cost you, say, $100 is going to cost like $2,000 the second insurance is involved. They're going to try to charge that insurance as much as humanly possible. You know, it's $40 for a Q-tip or whatever, you know. They go ham. I've had a daughter that was in the hospital. When she was born, she was in the hospital for 6 months. I am $120,000 in debt. And that's after insurance. My insurance covered 80% of it, which you do the math there. I'm talking, it was almost $1 million for my kid to be born. And then over a couple years, she had to get a lot of surgeries because she was born with half a heart. She's fine now. She's doing great. She's I call her my little iron baby because she has mechanical parts in there, and you wouldn't even know if you saw her.
Legend.
Yeah, absolutely legendary status. The medical technology is insane. Where we at? And I'm so blessed that I lived in California, literally blocks away from the greatest children's hospital in the world. I got very lucky. I'm very blessed. But because of that, it cost a lot of money. And getting her to a 14-year-old girl from a baby that was born early with half a heart, it was a very costly thing. And I still owe, because of my portion of it was 20%, I still owe an insane amount of money, right?
Yeah.
Well, that wouldn't be the case if it wasn't insurance. If that was me paying out of pocket, then back in the day, it still would be more than I can afford, to be fair. But the total wouldn't have been $900,000. It would have been like 20 grand total. But the second you add insurance to the equation, the price gets 100 times the cost. And and I'm not making that up. That's just the way that's what they do. You know, every cotton ball is like $50 for some reason. So the way this works is you allow illegal immigrants to receive the same Medicare, Medicaid, whatever that citizens do. That price is going to balloon. And you think the second you add it here, in a year or 2 years, when they do it again and there's even more illegal aliens, the price is going to go up and up and up and up and up. Here we are. So I just want to make it clear that 100% is the case. I fact-checked everything Mike said here. He was very important that he was very quick and pointed on these topics. So you can fact-check every one of these points and come back with a fact-check true. And if you want to do it too while we're listening, tell me if I'm wrong. I checked on every single thing he talked about. The one thing he was sort of vague on was when he talks about the LGBT spending, which we're going to get to right now.
We can't do that. They want billions of dollars in wasteful programs to be returned to foreign countries for things that none of you would agree with. We are not going to do that. They want $500 million to go back to left-leaning news organizations.
I got to go back real quick. I'm not sure why we would be funding programs in other countries at all.
Well, it's like us. We found out, what was it, 2 weeks ago, that they're going to be putting the budget up and they're going to be taxing us again, increasing taxes allegedly in the UK. And yet we're what is it we're doing? We are funding, I think it's £111 million for contraceptive education in Pakistan. What the hell? You know, I could go there quite now. I could go there to Pakistan right now and I could save £111 million. Contraceptive education from me would be a baseball bat and your genitals. That would be it. I'd save a fortune for the country straight away.
Save a ton of money.
Yeah. No one wants, anyone that's got common sense, whether it's in the United States, whether it's in the UK or elsewhere, they don't want that. You know, you're working hard, you're doing the grind on a daily basis, you're looking after your family, and yet these people come in and they don't care about the everyday person. It's all about pushing this agenda. It's disgraceful.
Yeah, you're totally right. I'm not sure why billions of dollars would be going to other countries for anything. You know, even if it was a program I agreed with, that wouldn't matter. Like, we should not be agreeing on a spending budget that includes other countries' problems. I don't understand that whatsoever. No. And this next thing he says...
Paid for by taxpayers. They want $500 million to go back to left-leaning news organizations. Paid for going to do that. They want $500 million.
$500 million to go back to quote-unquote state-funded media. Here's a problem. He said left-leaning because every one of those organizations that were getting money from the government were all left-leaning. Why is it that it's always a left-leaning organization that gets money? Notice that all these little publications that were really popular before the Doge cuts, like Jezebel and HuffPo and et cetera, they're all gone. They've all been like shuttered or absorbed into other companies. And remember when the Doge cuts were happening, people were literally posting, "Oh, I was fired from Jezebel today. I was fired from HuffPo today." Well, why? Because they were being funded by USAID.
Yeah.
Why are we funding media outlets? Do you think
even funding the BBC for crying out loud out of it? You know, it's
that's right. We were even giving money to BBC, which is weird. We're giving money to another country's left-leaning outlet.
I mean, it's nefarious, isn't it? Because it's basically what they've been caught out of as doing, and they're trying to still do it, is effectively Western-leaning culture. They want to push the propaganda of left-leaning propaganda across the West. Now, back in decades before, you could understand, like, you could see the CIA like trying to do these sort of things in like the Soviet Union. But now they're trying to do it across the West.
Yeah, CIA was doing it
nefarious.
In the Soviet Union and like South America. They were, but they did it quietly. We didn't find out about it until 5 decades later. Now they're like, no, we're just going to send money over there. I've never understood that. No media outlet should be getting any money from the government for anything. Look, I get it. I get if you're going to hire someone to do construction or road. You know, you have government employees. You have companies that are paid government vendors to support government events or government projects. That's all normal. What in the world does the Huffington Post have to offer the government other than propaganda? Like, what are you hiring them to sweep the White House lawn, yard? What other reason would you give money to a media outlet other than to promote what you want to promote, your propaganda? So you know what? No, we are 100% not giving journalists and media outlets money for anything. If you cannot survive as a media organization on your own, then you should not exist. Period.
Can I ask a question, mate, before you play it again?
Go ahead.
It's only what I see, these very strange lefties that are doing these protests who seem to only believe in the Democrats now because they they've lost all credibility whatsoever from what I see from within the United Kingdom. But it goes back to kind of what Shane had been making the point about for the last couple of weeks. It's don't trust, verify. So, but these people, they go out on the protests and they're demanding this and demanding that. They don't verify it. Now, me and you will try and verify things, you know, and if we're wrong, we're quite happy to be called out on it, and we'll say, you know, put our hands up, we were wrong. Okay,
100%.
We'll reevaluate
That's
it.
why I went and fact checked everything.
Doing it.
Yeah, I fact checked everything this guy said for that reason. I don't want to be the guy who, I don't want to repeat propaganda or bad information.
No.
I don't want to do that. And no one should want to do that. It's crazy. But if so many people are stuck in their little echo chamber that they go, you know, I just believe whatever AOC posts on Twitter, which we're going to get to that right now soon. These Democrats are posting pretty much the same exact response. Look at Donald Trump talking about his big, beautiful ballroom while Americans starve. First off, no one's starving, so calm down. But really, more importantly, everything in that statement is incorrect. He's building that ballroom with, ready? Private money, which means the government's not paying for it. A. B. You, the same people that are posting this, are the same people that could have passed the continued resolution and decided not to. So really, you are contributing to starving Americans, not the other way around.
Yeah. Again, you asked the question, and I'd be saying exactly the same thing if this was the Republicans that were playing this game. It's, how can you say that you're doing, you know, you're representing and doing the goodwill, looking out for the goodwill of the American people at this point? If you do that and you don't agree to do that while you continue negotiating about it, you've got people that are going to suffer as a result of the fact that you are just doing a power play.
Right. 100% right. 100% right. So we're going to get back to that, but let's finish this.
To go back to left-leaning news organizations paid for by taxpayers. We can't do that. And then they want to cut $50 billion from the Rural Hospital Fund that Republicans got signed into law July 4th to prop up health care in red states and rural areas around the country. It's too important, but they want to take that away. They know that.
What he's not saying there, which I find shocking, because usually politicians would jump on this. Those rural, I can't even say the word, rural, those healthcare programs that they added money to support are mostly handling military veterans and people that live in those areas that cannot get access to these coastal areas. It's so interesting to me that they want to cut funding for what's essentially, without saying what it is, which is essentially veteran healthcare. Because that's the majority of people that are visiting these rural areas are veterans. They want to cut that so that they can find more money to give to their left-wing media outlets, other countries, and illegal aliens that don't even live here. Every one of their demands is anti-American. Every one of them.
We can't do it.
It's insane.
And now that they've begun to admit what this is all about. Thanks, Lee. Put it on the thing there. They're admitting what they're up to. Chuck Schumer said every day of the shutdown gets better for us, meaning the Democrat Party. And you know, we had the second-ranked Democrat in the House, the minority whip, who just said a few days ago, the end of last week, that we know that this is causing great pain for the American people, but we have to use this leverage. We don't have many times where we have leverage like this. And so they've shown you what the real motivation is. But ultimately, why are they doing all that? Let me summarize this really quickly, as simply as I can, for the civic students back home. Republicans are not demanding anything, literally nothing. All we want is to reopen the government. The Democrats are demanding all those things I just showed you on the chart, plus a lot more. When I say they want to send money to foreign countries, this is some of the things that they would propose that we spend money on again. They're demanding, this is a ransom to reopen the government.
By the way, this is hard to verify.
Things like $4 million for global LGBTQ.
Yeah, global million for global LGBTIA plus minus whatever. I tried to look that up, and I couldn't find information. If someone else finds information on that, at this point, I can't verify that. I can only say what he's saying. But if someone can actually find information on what they're funding the 4 million in global homosexual whatever programs. I would love to know more about that. But I couldn't find any source that verified that. And I even asked Grok, who's super based, and Grok didn't even know.
I+ awareness campaigns around the world. $4 million for the LGBTQI+ democracy grants in the Balkans. They want $2 million.
Yeah, I looked that up too. The Balkan thing. Maybe it's so new that there is no information on it. Some of the stuff I did find was like from like years ago. Apparently this was part of the previous negotiations that were turned down. I don't know. They also want $2 million for some feminist program. He's going to get into it.
For feminist democratic principles projects in Africa. We're not doing that.
I was like, we're not doing that. So feminist democratic principles in Africa. Like, what does that even mean? Like, you're trying to are you trying to like lift up
feminism in Africa?
Maybe.
Well, all I
know right now is that they are women are treated very poorly in Africa. So
I was going to say, all I can say is about the people that are coming into my country right now. That's never going to work in Africa.
Right? Imagine if a woman's like, "I demand," and they just get smacked. Like what you need there is like civilization. These people are they're savages that are living in a modern world. You need to educate them beyond savagery. If you really want there to be equal rights in Africa or Dubai or Iraq or wherever, then these people need to be educated to the point beyond savagery. Because right now, most of the people there are savages that just happen to be living in a modern world with semi-modern amenities. And I know that sounds... That's racist. No. Notice I didn't point anyone's skin color. I'm talking about their ideology. It's backwards. They don't know how any of this stuff works. They are literally. It might have been. It could have been a Star Trek episode where you took a bunch of people that were living in grass huts and moved them into a city, and then you expect them to act differently because they happen to be living in the 21st century all of a sudden.
Well, it's quite easy to write that episode because they've just got to base it on London.
Right,
you got it. You know,
I mean, bro. I saw that video, which we can't show you because it was uncensored. Of like this woman was like watching TV in London, and she turns around, and she sees a guy looking through her window. By the way, woman, please shut your blinds. Why are your blinds open? Okay, it's weird.
Yeah,
but her blinds are open, and there's just like this Somalian guy or whatever, and he's just openly masturbating, watching her watch television, and just making the most disgusting face. And you're like, this is what's going on, because that guy doesn't understand that you cannot act like a literal ape in modern civilization. You cannot do that. Like if that person could have broken into his house, that woman would have gotten raped, and that man would have had no feelings about it whatsoever.
Yeah, this is the thing, you know, like you were just saying, you know, people are call you racist for saying these things. It's not racist. It's the fact that call us crazy, but we don't want our family members getting raped or murdered by people that just don't have any value about life.
Right.
You know,
so
they're coming over. We'll get into it later, but you know, we had a few more incidents this week.
Right. So you have these savage people. They come from savage lands. They were raised savage. They have savage ideology. Their ideology is literally thousands of years old. It has not been updated in thousands of years. It is savage. Everything about them is savage and uncivilized. And you take them and you put them in a modern, semi-modern, civilized world. And then you wonder why they don't act civilized. I mean, this is what's happening. Like, you don't need to start a feminist campaign. You need to literally educate the next generation. You know, if you want to fix Africa, then don't start with the current Africans. You need to start with the next generation. You need to get a bunch of teachers over there and programs for kids that teach the next generation. And even that generation is going to have some brainwashing from the previous generation's savagery. So you need to bank on that generation teaching the next generation some better values. And and 2 generations from now, is when you'll get a higher IQ and a less savage outcome. It's going to take 45 plus years if you want to fix it. But no one's going to spend, you know what? Most of that money isn't even going to go to those countries. It's going to appear to go to those countries. It's going to go to some random charity that works in Africa. That charity is going to maybe turn 10% of that into any kind of benefit for any actual people. And the other 90% is going to go right in their pocket. And they're going to call it administration fees. Welcome to 2025, everyone.
It just, I mean, again, it's 100%. I can't disagree with you on this, mate. I mean, again, for my country as well, we're seeing the same patterns. And for me, when I've talked to you about this before, and I thought about how is all of this illegal migration being allowed to happen? Because it's happening throughout Europe, it's happened in the United States. And for me, I was watching something on YouTube from a great channel called the Lotus Eaters, and they did a video and they were talking about
Lotus Eaters. That's Carl Benjamin, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so they were doing. They did it was a couple of days ago, but they were talking about the fact that the native population of the UK and other countries in the West, the native white populations, the birth rates are dropping considerably. People aren't having kids anymore. So, they reckoned that within 100 years, you can soon become the minority. Now, I was starting to think to myself, is this a coordinated thing that they know that the birth rates are dropping in the native white, so they're importing illegal migrants in to try and top it up?
Then you only exacerbate the problem then, because the birth rates drop for two reasons. People that are uncomfortable with their fiscal future, they don't know how much money they're going to have or how much opportunity they're going to have. They don't want the added cost of children to bring into an already tense work-life balance, right? In fact, my wife, we've considered having another kid because she's getting older, and our twins are awesome. But she's smart. She goes, we can't afford more kids, And it's funny, like we can't afford more kids, but like we don't have SNAP benefits or SSI or anything like that. Like
that's work, it, 100%.
We work and spend, and we eat what we kill. Like we eat what we kill. We spend what we make. And we smartly we can't afford another kid, even though she's going to age out of being able to, safe child rearing soon. We really can't afford it. Meanwhile, so people's fiscal futures, their outcome looks a little more bleak. Or they don't know where it's going to go. They don't know what their career is going to look like. And they're not well off enough to feel like it's responsible to bring another child into this world, so they don't, right? Or the other side of that is they're selfish and they want to party and they don't want to have kids until it's later on in life. Meanwhile, you have illegal immigrants who have no qualms. They can be living in a dirt hut. They can be living in a dirt hut and eating dirt tacos, and they would still have kids because, and I'm sorry to say, they're not very smart, and that's a part of being savage. Like you don't look at the future, you look at the now, and the now is I want to feel pleasure, and they don't understand that they are making their situation worse by adding dependents, and the good ones will raise those dependents no matter what. The not so good ones, the bad ones, we'll just sell them off or let them die on the street. And that's what we have. Meanwhile, civilized people go, we shouldn't have kids right now because we don't know where we're going to be career-wise or financially in 10 years. It's looking rough. And when you bring illegal immigrants into your country, it gets worse for regular people. They lose more money. It's more crowded. They feel even less secure. And guess what? They think less about having kids when they feel threatened.
Can I add to what you've just said as well? Another benefit that you've got if you're an illegal migrant and you've got that mindset and you come into a country is, certainly for my country, is the majority of them are on the benefit system. So they're not even working. So when you're on the benefit system, you can have as many kids as you want, and you haven't got the consequences of it.
Well, I mean, you benefit from having more dependents. When you're on the SNAP program, the more kids you have, guess what? The more money you get per month. The more money you get for the more dependents you have. It makes more sense to have more kids than to actually try to get a job, right?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the rest of us, we kill what we eat, which means we're not going to have kids unless we can kill more to eat more. That's it. That's how it works.
Absolutely. Yeah, 100%.
All right, let's watch the rest of this.
But again, the question is why? Why? This sounds crazy. It is. Why would they do this? And what we saw on vivid display over the weekend was the re-emphasis of this fact. This is motivated purely out of fear. And what do we mean by that? You saw the Democratic leader in the House, Hakeem Jeffries, endorse Zoran Mamdani for mayor of New York City on Friday. It was an illustration of what we're facing here. The Democrats right now fear the far left activists more than they fear air traffic controllers, border patrol agents, American service members, and so many others missing their paychecks. They fear the Marxist insurgents like Mamdani more than they fear families and children going hungry from lapsed benefits that keep food on their tables. They simply fear losing their own political positions next November.
That's what it is. So,
same over here.
I'm not a fan of Mamdani, but I don't think he's as dangerous as everyone is saying. Like, the rhetoric around him is extreme on both sides. He's not some savior, and he's certainly not.
He's just going to be another Democrat.
He's just going to be another Democrat. But what they fear is the activist part of. So they don't fear those particular people. They fear not getting elected next year because they didn't support the people the lunatic portion of the left supports. They fear the lunatic left activists, and so they have to go crazy, simp and glaze for Mamdani, or else they're going to lose votes next election. And when we tell you, this is the problem with term limits. You need term limits because all they care about is getting reelected every 2 or 4 years. That's all they care about. All they care about is getting reelected. They don't care about doing their jobs, and you are pawns in their ever increasing game of obtaining political power. You are pawns. You're getting benefits? Nope, not today. We need you to be more uncertain about your future and your kids' future so that we can pressure Republicans to give us more stuff to give to other people to improve and impress our activist, left-wing, lunatic left base so that we can continue to get elected. That's all they care about. You think Chuck Schumer cares about the feminist project in Africa or some LGBT? By the way, LGBT awareness is not required anymore. You have made it very clear that you are here. We don't need to be any more aware of LGBT anything. Okay? You're very flamboyant in the community. Do whatever you want, but we don't need to be any more aware of your presence. It's very clear when you're in the room.
Do you know what has always irked me and annoyed me about that? About, we have in the UK had Pride Month for how many years? Right. Every day is about Pride. And yet we give one day to honor our fallen soldiers who died for this country.
Right.
That really gets on my nerves. I get fed up with it. Why do they need a whole month?
It's Pride Month.
Yeah. We see you every flipping day of the week.
Yeah.
Shut up and go away.
Yes. We're very aware of your existence. We don't. Yeah. I mean, maybe when like the gay thing was like, oh, they can't be. Oh, well, we needed to show everyone that we're normal. But then this is what happens. I think this is what happened, right? Gay people are like, we need to show everyone we're normal so that they accept us. And like, let's say this is where normal is, right in the middle. And they go, and they're shooting for normal. We're here, everyone, and we're queer. We're here. We're proud of it. Right? And they just kept shooting until I went from normal all the way to the other side of we're very aware of how abnormal you are.
Yeah.
And it went nuts. It went from like, we're normal people to some guy with a bunch of fake dicks and dildos on his body running down a schoolyard and screaming about how much he likes penis. You're like, what's going on?
Or standing outside the White House with
right. Yeah, or saying like, guys, like you were shooting for normal and you really overshot it. You went hard with it, dude. So here's the problem: we don't need these programs. But the reason why they are pushing for these programs is because they're insane left-wing base, like the lunatic left, not the regular left. The lunatic left. They're the vocal ones. They're gonna keep getting them elected. Chuck Schumer doesn't care about LGBT anything. He doesn't care about Africa. He cares about keeping his job. Yep. Because that political power he has allows him to
it's power and influence, isn't it?
It allows him to game the stock market. It allows him to inside trade. It allows him to trade favors. It allows him to increase his wealth way beyond whatever the actual state's government's going to pay him. Let me tell you something. Dude, working as a senator is not very profitable.
No.
Like if they weren't corrupt. The only way it's actually profitable is if you're corrupt. And I'm going to speak for the Republicans here and Democrats. Let me tell you something. Your annual salary isn't that high. And it's certainly not high enough for you to own 14 homes in this country. While most of us that make more than you per year, can't even afford one home. Yeah, you have a summer home, an Aspen home, you got a place in the Hamptons, you're somehow have a net worth of $15 million, all on what? $120,000 a year salary? How is that possible? Oh, you wisely invested? Weird how you're part of the 0.001% of people that were ultra lucky in the stock market, huh?
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it?
Isn't it funny how it's always politicians that are coincidentally hyper successful in the stock market?
Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, I mean it is absolutely staggering, isn't it? And again, if you're somebody that is voting for a senator or a congressman, how is it that you can actually, this is a question to you, and this is a question to people in the audience as well. Do you actually believe that person going in is generally going to look after your interests or serve your interests? Because if they're making so much money and it's all about personal power, that's the problem. And again, people going into politics, don't get me wrong, there's going to be a small amount that go in to do good. And there's a small amount also that go in to do good and they get corrupted over time. But the majority of them, they go in for personal power. That's what they do. So how like you said, if they're just gaming the stock market and making loads of money, how are they going to give a damn about Joe Bob who's trying to get a house somewhere? It's crazy.
I love this. I looked it up. Chuck Schumer's net worth, ready, is estimated to be between $50 million and $54 million based on 2024 financial disclosures from his office. Ready?
That'll cover Snap, won't it?
Right. So the source of his wealth, according to Google, Schumer's had a long career in public service. His wealth comes primarily from his salary as a senator. Okay, let's do the math. Ready, guys? Right? Yeah. Can we do the math here, guys? All right, senator salary. Let's just go 2024. So we're going to go quite year. All right. They make about $175,000 a year, right? And when did he start? He started in 1960, 1970 something. Let's just go with 1970.
I mean, again, 1970 started and he's still there.
1970. I don't even know when he started, but let's go 1970. It was $42,000. So it's gone up pretty much every year, right? Or every budget, they increase their own. Of course, they increase their own amount of pay. And he started off at about $42,000 a year, and now it's about $170,000 a year, right? Roughly. So he's worth between $50 and $54 million. Let's just say 52, right? Let's average it out. Oh no, let's go on the low end. Let's just say 50. Based on his financial disclosure, $50 million. So $50 million. Can we divide that by, let's say, Chuck Schumer? Let's see how long he was in office. He was been in office for 50 years. Okay, so 50 years. So 50 times, you know what? I'm just going to assume that in 1975, when he started, I'm going to assume that his salary was exactly what it is now, $175,000. I'm going to go that hard. I'm going to go, he started at today's wage, right? So let's go $175,000 times 50 years. That's $8,750,000. So if he started at today's wage and saved every single penny for the entire time he's been in office, he would be worth $8.7 million. But in reality, he's worth at least $50 million. And you know it's impossible to not spend a penny. So if he made his salary today for 50 years straight and never spent a penny, he would be worth $8.7 million. So I got to ask the question, even though that in alone is silly, of course, he didn't make $175,000 in 1975. Of course, he made $39 million. I'm sorry, $39,000. Of course. But you have to ask the question, because if this math doesn't check out, because if I did the actual math and did every single year, I feel like it would probably be about $4 million total, right? But if you did the math here, just for this crazy math equation, I got to ask, where did the other $40.2 million come from?
Well, again, you know, even if you take the stock market out of it, right, it says you're basically in someone's pocket.
Right.
So you're not going to vote with a clear conscience. You're compromised because somebody is siphoning funds into you in some way or another.
Right.
You know, whether that's pharmaceutical companies or someone else, they're doing it so that they're going to co-opt you to vote their way.
Right.
So if you're Joe Public and you're wanting something to change in your area, it's never going to change, is it? Because they're bought and paid for.
Well, yeah.
It's the same over here.
So at Marcius, I don't know your name, but at March something 1422 says, I'm going to assume investments, but who knows what else? Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, it's probably investments, right? So you also get $100,000 speaking fee to speak at the Nabisco conference in, 2003. And you're like, why did Chuck Schumer get $100,000 to speak at a Nabisco conference? Well, Nabisco, who owns a bunch of food products, right, more than likely, they weren't just like huge fans of Chuck Schumer, and they wanted to bless their employees by bringing in a legendary senator to speak to them. More than likely, they wanted to build a factory somewhere. And it was probably in his district, wherever he serves, wherever he was serving at the time. I think it was New York, right? It was probably in New York. And they wanted to build a factory. Or they wanted some kind of special, generous consideration from the person that would have been in charge of rubber stamping that project or whatever. And they can't outwardly just give Chuck Schumer $100,000 because they would get in trouble. It's called a bribe, right? So what they do is they go, hey, next year we have that big conference we're doing for all of our shareholders. We would love to come have you speak and be a keynote speaker at that conference. We'll give you $100,000.
Wink, wink.
And in the meantime, though, if you can also consider helping us with this project we're working on. You know what Chuck Schumer does? Of course. No problem. And if you think that I am being hyperbolic, then you're not paying attention. Because that guy will then take that $100,000 and he'll put it into a stock portfolio that is 1,000% guaranteed to go 200%, 300% of the next 5 years, because that portfolio is being ran by a bunch of hedge fund people that are friends with him and Nancy Pelosi and Chuck and Mitch McConnell or whatever. And they're all good friends, and they give each other tips on when specific funds or mutual funds or stocks are going to go well, so that they can continue moving money around. They probably have a few guys that are all in the know, and you know what that's called? Insider trading. So you have bribery happening in plain sight, but you can't prove it. You have insider trading happening in plain sight, but you can't prove it. And we're just sitting here being conned by a bunch of multimillionaires about how they don't have enough money or enough time to help out the poor SNAP people. Get out of here.
Yeah, exactly.
Get out of here. Knock it off. Get out of here.
I just saw, Drew D said, how long before riots start with SNAP running out? I've just got this image now of like loads of rioters running down the road with like empty cookie boxes. God, I haven't had cookies in four days.
Well, we're already seeing a little bit of that, and we'll see. So the church that I work at, we started a program, and we basically told people, actually my sister was involved, like if you are not going to be getting your benefits, which I don't think is going to, I think in California they're probably going to be fine, but if you're not going to get benefits and you need money for food or whatever, come talk to us. We'll go through your situation and we'll help you out. And so a lot of communities, churches, other people are going to supplement and help these people get what they need for the most part. I also noticed that I haven't seen a single Trump, supposed previous Trump supporter out there complaining about losing their SNAP benefits, which is very telling. Very telling to me. But if people are going to have a hard time, then communities that support those people will probably step in the meantime and make sure they're taken care of. I know for a fact my cousin-in-law, someone related to my wife who has multiple kids and no husband, like they're going to be having a hard time, right? Because they do rely on benefits for groceries. Well, I also know for a fact that my wife and my aunt and people in our family are just going to take care of them. We'll take care of you. We'll make sure you get what you need. Don't worry about it. That's going to happen to most people. But the problem is, it doesn't have to happen at all. This could have all, the government shutdown didn't have to happen. The Democrats could have signed the budget that they already agreed on last time. But they would rather hold you hostage and use you as a bargaining tool for leverage to get even crazier crap pushed through to the bill. Do you understand how evil and malicious that is? That's evil. That's malicious. That is horrible. And the fact that more people don't know that's what's happening, and they're spitting these propaganda lies, like from AOC, Chuck Schumer, the Indian chick, what's her name? She claims she's Indian. I always forget her name.
Oh yeah, Warren,
Elizabeth Warren. Like they're spouting nonsense, and they're saying, "Look at President Trump building his ballroom while you starve." Shut the f up. You're full of crap. You know you're full of crap. You're intentionally lying to people because you want to use them as leverage. You are using your victims. You're lying to your victims and getting them mad to then use them as leverage to get your corrupt buddies paid. Because we know that $500 million isn't going to some place in Africa. We know that LGBT awareness or whatever somewhere in South America is not going to all make it there. We know that you're lying. But you would rather lie to the same low IQ people that you are stealing from in order to get what you want. It's disgusting.
Question for you and for people in the chat as well. What do you think needs to change for, poor people that are going through this, that are struggling, for them to realize that actually they are being played by these Democrats? Because as you were just saying there, and I'm coming on from this, is about the propaganda. A lot of them, I would say, well, depending what state, they could have voted for Democrats for a long time. But if they keep coming out with the propaganda to say the Republicans are blocking this, this is why you're not getting it. what needs to happen for these people to actually sort of suddenly realize, that light bulb moment to think, hang on a minute, no, it's not the Republican, it's the Democrats that are causing this. Do you think we'll ever get to that sort of situation where we see these people in droves suddenly realizing that, hang on a minute, these Democrats who I voted for, or if it was the Republicans in a different time, are not looking out for my interests, therefore they're conning me?
I don't know.
Is that ever going to change? I mean, again, we were talking about it briefly earlier. It's about verifying the information, but the trouble is now all of it's done by soundbite a lot these days, isn't it? So people hear the soundbite and they believe that's factually correct.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that there are a lot of people out there with, I call it NPC syndrome, where they're just sort of NPCs. Like, they're so selfish that they don't see anything outside themselves. They can't see anything outside their field of view. They have like object permanence when it comes to politicians or politics. Do you know what object permanence is?
Yeah.
So for everyone else, object permanence is basically, if something is out of your eyesight, then it's out of your mind. So let's say and I have this, but most people do. If you come home and you take your car keys, a lot of us take our car keys and we put them on the hook next to the door or in the kitchen or in the same drawer, right? The reason is we're training ourselves to know exactly where our car keys are. Now, if you got home and threw your car keys on the couch or just tossed them haphazardly into a room somewhere, and the next morning you're going to wake up and forget where your hell your car keys are because object permanence. Let's say you buy groceries. Most people will stack their groceries in their refrigerator, on their drawers, their cabinets, in a way that allows them to see everything in the cabinet, which means they don't hide the honey behind the cereal, right? They'll put it in front. Why is that? Well, because even if you bought it, you forget you have it a week later because it's out of your vision. A lot of voters and NBC people that have a hard time with selfishness, they're so selfish about everything they do. They have object permanence when it comes to politics. They forget that Chuck Schumer is a bad guy, a multimillionaire, probably a racist. They forget all those things. They forget the things that he has said in the past. They forget about how wrong he was for years, and every single instance about Chuck Schumer being pretty much just a corrupt supervillain. Same with Nancy Pelosi. To be fair, same with some of the Republicans. People will forget these things because they are supporting whatever the current thing is. They forget that Nancy Pelosi put on an African clothes, and she kneeled before a George Floyd statue while wearing her stupid face diaper for a pandemic that wasn't a pandemic, for restrictions that weren't required, all so that she can virtual signal to a bunch of crazy leftists and she knew that the combination of the pandemic, the restrictions, and her virtual signaling would get her another 4 years. We forget how evil, vindictive, corrupt these people are because it's so far away. And a lot of NPCs have extreme object permanence. It could have happened 2 days ago. And they'll forget it because at that moment, they just saw a TikTok clip where that guy or woman was saying something they liked. And that's all they remember. That's all they remember. Yeah. And I don't know if NPCs are ever going to break out of their NPC and become, NPC characters and become main characters. But there's a lot of people out there that are NPCs that think they're main characters. In reality, they're at best supporting characters, and they're not writing the story. And they're never. And I don't think most of these people are ever going to break out of that mundane knowledge. I will never forget what they did with the pandemic. That was corrupt as it gets. And you know what? The fact that we couldn't even talk about it for years, that this channel was demonetized twice, once for pandemic-related discussions. Now those exact things that we talked about are being actively talked about as facts today. There's no retroactive thing that will ever get me to forgive people for that. My grandmother died in a nursing home, and we weren't allowed to see her because of pandemic rules, while those same exact nurses were making TikToks. F you.
Well, we had, you know, we had the same thing in the UK, and then we had, you know, Starmer and, you know, his deputy, who became his deputy prime minister, who's just gone recently due to surprise corruption. They did the George Floyd thing. They had the face mask on as well, and they took the knee and did a, you know, photo shoot doing that. And it's like, these are the same people that when a horrible terrorist incident happened over a year ago, people went out and protested because they'd had enough of what was going on in their community. They sent them to prison for social media posts. But yet at the time, with the whole George Floyd thing, they were taking down historic statues in cities in the UK, and they were throwing them in the water.
Right.
And they were causing carnage. And again, they have the audacity to basically say, oh, you know, you're far right if you think like that. You know, it's unacceptable. You know, you're unacceptable. No, it's critical thinking. I've basically seen what has happened, what you have done, and yet you're basically, for something far less, you're punishing people far more. It's staggering what is happening at the moment. And again, I've said to you many times, you know, that old saying about if the US catches a cold, the UK, if the US sneezes, the UK catches a cold. And it is very true, because when you look at what the Democrats did under Biden, it's the same playbook that we're having now under the Labour government. It's all the same setup. So I have a long memory. I think a lot of people do, about, you know, like you say, we weren't allowed to talk about things for quite a long time, but there were valid questions that people wanted to ask, and we're now, people who denied it are asking those questions.
You're allowed to talk about it now. You're allowed to say, you know, the COVID virus came from the COVID lab. You know, the lab called COVID. All right, I get it. You can talk about it now, but the problem is object permanence. People forget what happened last year. I'm not going to forget. You're not going to forget. Most people watching right now, they're not going to forget. They're going to remember this bull crap. But a lot of NPCs, especially leftist NPCs, are so self-involved. They're so selfish and so utterly hopeless when it comes to anything outside their scope that they don't care. They're apathetic to anything that doesn't directly affect them, unless their group is very specifically for something or against something or whatever. Or they think that they can look good by talking about how great something is by some marginalized community. And can we get past the marginalized community? No one is marginalizing gay people anymore in 2025. Just so you guys know. They're out, they're proud, and they run most of Hollywood. This is not a marginalized society anymore, so stop it. Stop it.
Yeah,
I mean, dude,
absolutely.
15 years ago, I worked for them. When I worked in Hollywood, I worked for a lot of them. Let me tell you something. It has not gotten any less gay. It's gotten more gay. So you're no longer a marginalized society. This is not 1975. So stop acting like it is.
Well, again, you know, going on to that point, and we touched upon it earlier in the show, I have got no problem if someone is LGBTQ, if someone is, LGB, if they're gay, lesbian, I have no problem with it. What you do, that's up to you. What I had a problem with, and I still have a problem with, is when you're telling me and the people that support you are telling me that I need to believe your reality when it's not reality. So when you're coming to me and you're saying, when I'm seeing you and you're a man in a dress and you're telling me I've got to say you're a woman, you're not a woman. I'm sorry. I'm never going to change that fact. You go about your life and you do what you want to do, but I'm not gonna drill into that delusion that you've got. I will not do it. And this is the trouble now. I said to you, where I was working in a corporate company, I had to do all the unconscious bias training and tests annually, the LGBTQ tests at the end of each year to do. And it's like, what the hell has this got to do with insurance? And it's not. It's propaganda that they're funneling into everything. Exactly. Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, someone's going to buy a policy from me for business insurance, or they won't buy a policy from me if I haven't got my LGBTQ certificate.
Right. You need your LGBT. Yeah. You need to be properly educated on how to deal with people that are homosexual. All right.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, one thing I'm gonna go one more thing, and then we're gonna move on to the next topic. We spent a long time on this topic, guys. Realize that. This is from Fetterman. So someone said that Fetterman is the Democrat that came over. Yeah, he was. A little interesting information on Fetterman. Fetterman suffered a brain injury. And it's funny how it took a brain injury and the following hospital stay to fix him that finally got him to start thinking like a conservative. So the guy basically ran as a Democrat. And ever since his injury and his hospital stay and all the time they spent sort of fixing his head, he's had very reasonable, logical takes. And this is what he said. I would remind everybody too, this was designed by the Democratic Party to expire at the end of the year. This is not something taken from by the Republicans. They were designed to expire October 15th, 2025. Which means these particular part of the budget, they designed these things to expire close to this budget argument so that they can then use them as leverage to get more out of the next budget. That is diabolical. It's diabolical. Yeah. They planned this 2 years ago. That's crazy, man. And no one's gonna see this. Most people are just gonna parrot whatever they see on Twitter or Instagram or whatever community they're in. And they're going to keep posting the same tired meme of Trump with his ballroom while you starve. Shut up! You're so misinformed. You're so ill-informed. It's crazy. Yeah. The same people that just marched for No King's Day are now complaining that the king isn't feeding them. Stop it. Stop it. All right. Anything else about Snap? Yeah, just so everyone knows, 55 people voted yes on the bill, on the continuing resolution. 2 of those are Democrats. 45 voted no. 1 of those people is a Republican. I want to know which one. And that's it. So what's holding up the government shut is not Republicans. It's Democrats. And that's just a fact. And you cannot like that fact because maybe you're a Democrat. You cannot like that fact because maybe you hate Trump or you hate Republicans. But bottom line is, this is not the Republicans doing. The Democrats are 100% doing this. It's malicious. They're using the American people as leverage so that they can then line the pockets of their corrupt friends and corrupt media establishments with bull SHIT funding earmarks. And you need to know that. And more people need to know that. The sad part is I can say that exact sentence directly to one of these NBC's idiots, and they still won't understand. They'll be like, yeah, but President Trump built a ballroom. Oh, but President Trump... Shut up. Oh, my God. Stop it. Listen. Stop it. Trump isn't taking away his name. Yeah, but I don't like Trump. Shh. Hey, dummy, stop. Chuck Schumer. He planned to take your benefits away. But I don't like it. Stop. Listen. No. They're just dumb. They're just dumb. They're low IQ. They're selfish, and they're never going to learn. And so, you know what? And if you do actually express this to them, and they do understand, often they'll pull a Cartman. They'll take their ball and they'll go home. They'll just shut down. I don't want to talk to you about this. because you're right and they're wrong.
Yeah.
It's pathetic, dude. And it's a sign. It's a sign of low IQ when you can't accept when you're incorrect.
Yep.
All right.
Can I just say something funny from the UK for once?
Yeah.
Right. Have you seen what's gone on this week with Prince Andrew?
No.
About the whole Epstein thing, and basically the king has stripped him of his titles, and he's got to move out of the royal residence. Did you see that this week?
That's great. I didn't see that now.
Yeah. So he's had to move out, but you know what? The Labour government, on a popularity poll, they are below Prince Andrew. So they're below a guy that was hanging out with Epstein. It shows how unpopular the
That's so
Labour
funny.
are in the UK.
All right, let's get some super chats. Then we're gonna move on to aliens. I got to scroll way to the top because we talked a lot about this topic. All right, first up, and of course, the legendary Bamf of all Bamfs, Kenneth the Rogue. Kenneth the Rogue comes in with $20. He says, Doctor Who needs to take a long walk off a short pier. Thank you, Ken.
100%.
By the way, Ken is not just our biggest supporter, but he's also a double producer. He is a member on both channels. He is the super producer of this channel. Thank you, Ken.
Yeah.
You're awesome, brother. I appreciate you, man.
Top drawer.
Yep. Also, Kenneth the Rogue coming in for a member for 24 months. He goes, here comes another month. Here goes another month. Thank you, Ken. Just rubbing it in. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. And then we also got, SR Bot. Sarab Bot. You know what bothers me is they changed the names where it used to show their name. And
they're doing an update or something again, aren't they?
So I'm having a hard time knowing the names. So I apologize. But whoever this is sent 5 BRANE Show gift memberships. And listen, if you want to become a member and you didn't get one of these sweet memberships, click on the join button bottom left. Because after the show, we go into we like to call it the after show, the after party.
It gets crazy.
Where we take our pants off, we talk about conspiracy theories, and we just chat with you, the members. We just have a good old fashioned bro down and talk about tinfoil topics. And that's going to happen right after the show.
You all thought that intro with Dutch Butters and Brian on the AI was actually AI. It wasn't.
No.
Those kind of things happen in the members show.
Yeah, weird things go on up there. Yeah. So if you did not get a membership, thank you, Sabat. And you want to be part of that. Oh, I like that. The app. Matt says the Afterglow. Yeah. So if this is the Salty Nerd After Show, our members show is the Afterglow. Then, you're going to want to do that. Hit the join button and give us a cup of coffee and hang out with us for a month. Yep. All right. Also from Drew D, did you see Bill Gates now says global warming isn't an extension? Can you read that? My voice is shot.
Yeah. So I can't see the. Bill Gates now says global warming isn't an existential threat to humanity. It's funny that. So what he's probably saying, reading between the lines, is the money just isn't in it for him anymore to push that narrative. So he's now coming out and saying this statement. That's me reading between the lines there.
Right. Yeah. I love how somehow global warming was solved and we just didn't notice.
Yeah.
Almost like maybe it wasn't a problem in the first place.
It's funny, isn't it? It's but the good old.
Yeah, the global ocean is raising up because the freaking ice caps are melting. No.
I mean, again, in the UK for the second year running, we've got the most expensive fuel prices in the world, right? In the North Sea, they've just discovered what they estimate to be a further 1 billion barrels of oil.
Oh, God.
Right? And yet our mad government have basically decided, no, we've got to make sure that we stay on that target for 1%, for net zero. And it's like, oh my gosh, these people are idiots. Unbelievable.
Crazy, man. Thank you, Drew. And also from Funny and Dark, did you see my vid of my Halloween Ewoks? Where'd you send it? Twitter?
Did you send it to the
Twitter?
BRANE Show?
Yeah, let me know where you sent it, and we'll check it out.
Yeah.
I did get some Smeagol parodies sent these my way. It's like...
Contact, unknown's coming through. Contact, unknown's coming through.
Easy there, guys. We don't want trouble. I think we went the wrong way. This is in D.C.
Negative. Step back into that portal now.
Yeah, definitely the wrong turn.
Move!
Someone's been a long time trying to get the AI to do the portal correctly, and it doesn't look right.
No.
Like the way it
it's just not it's not understanding the prompt, is it? It's
right.
having a hard time with it.
Yeah, I mean, Stargate's unique. It sort of gets it right after the fact, but it doesn't open up right, dude.
Contact, unknown's coming through.
It's nuts, isn't it, though, that people are actually starting to try and create their own Stargate stuff now.
Right. Dude, people want new Stargate so bad, they're just using AI to create entire episodes.
Contact! Multiple hostiles! For battle!
Oh, they're Klingons? That's clever.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Gate of Honor, Blood Rift.
A gate of fire opens above our home. They call themselves Free
They proper
Jaffa
Klingons,
Warriors.
or are they sort of Timu Worf from Star Trek Academy?
It's Jaffa versus Klingon Warriors.
Without gods, will we kneel or feed Stovall?
That's a tough call.
Listen, this is what AI was meant for. The fanboying, the fan crafting episodes.
Yeah. I'd have to go with Jafar winning that one just purely because of the symbiotes regenerating them, healing them.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, dude.
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna talk about Elon Musk and his Joe Rogan and aliens and all that stuff. Listen, though, Funny and Dark, tell me where you sent that, because I didn't see it. I don't see it on Twitter. And I will show people. All right. Yep. Let's chat about this Elon Musk thing. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, aliens.
Oh, 1 second.
It's our favorite subject.
Sorry, can you talk for that? Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah. So, just in case anyone's not aware, tomorrow night me and Brian are doing a Stargate SG-1 live watch along. So that'll be on my channel, Sci-Fi Chronicles. So come on over if you like Stargate, and we'll watch a couple of episodes, and then we chat in the live chat, and we watch them in the Discord, the episodes together. So if you fancy it, come on in. That'll be great. And as Brian said earlier, if you're enjoying the show, you love hanging out with us, feel free to just like and subscribe, as we continue to grow this channel, and get more wonderful people to join us.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Yeah, and as Matt McGee says, yeah, good to see you, buddy. Yeah, could talk about aliens all night. So fascinating. Yeah, absolutely. Until you get probed, and then it all goes wrong.
Yeah, but then you develop a fetish and it gets real weird.
Yeah.
And my voice is like so messed up. Okay. Yeah, tomorrow, I can't wait for tomorrow, because I actually figured out the volume issue we had last week. So what you guys don't know is I got, and I know we're off topic here, but I don't care.
This is good. This is good.
Yeah, so I finally was able to procure high quality, extremely high quality versions of various TV shows that we all grew up with. And one of those being Stargate SG-1. So Stargate SG-1 was originally shot in basically like even lower than 720p TV, 4:3. You know,
yeah,
aspect ratio was garbage, and then later episodes did become more. What's the word? It did become a little higher quality and had specifically 16:9 aspect ratio, which is like regular letterbox. But for years that was not the case. Well, I need to mute this. I found through friends of mine and some upscaling techniques, and we got the original Blu-ray footage, and we took that Blu-ray footage, and anyways, long story short, slightly above 1080p, 16:9, the best possible quality you can get out of a Stargate SG-1. And I'll show you guys right now. Check this out.
It's like black magic that he's been working with here. It's crazy.
It's outstanding. So this is my Plex library, right? Season 3. So tomorrow we're going to be talking. I think we're going to read 9 and 10, right?
Yep, that's right.
So last week we did this one. So tomorrow we're going to be doing Rules of Engagement. Check out the graphics on this. I can't blame it much, by the way, because
you're gonna love it, people.
Yeah, it's gonna fast forward a little bit. Look at the quality. Look at this.
Oh,
this is season 3. Even the FPS is higher. Great quality. Now the problem
was all my birthdays had come at once.
Yeah, the problem was when we were watching them, the volume was really low, right?
Yeah.
Well, I figured that out too. So the volume's still low, but then I got this cool Chrome extension that allows me to wait for it, increase the volume to up to 600%.
Look like MP5.
See that? Boom, there we go. Yeah. We're back in it.
We're in the zone for tomorrow, so yeah you got to check it out. It's going to be great fun.
It's not quite 4K. It's more like, I guess, 2K or whatever. It's higher. It's slightly higher than 1080p. Which, if you knew what the original Stargate SG-1 looked like, that's insane, and it's super nuts. High quality. Yeah, it looks so good, and so these are the copies that we're doing for the watch along tomorrow, and I couldn't be happier. Before we were pretty much suffering through the old 4:3 aspect ratio for a while.
Yeah.
So that's tomorrow. Tomorrow on John's channel at 12:30 p.m. PST, and you can find his link in the description of this video if you this stream if you want to find it, or just go to Sci-Fi Chronicles on YouTube. All right, let's talk about aliens, man.
Aliens.
What we do, aliens.
I mean, maybe if aliens do turn up, probably one of the first questions I will ask them is, "Look, do what you want with me, but can you upgrade these classic shows for me to 4K? You must have some kind of technology.
Can I get sliders in 4K, please?"
Yeah.
That would be.
Can you travel back to 1960?
That'd be great.
1963 and find missing Doctor Who episodes for me.
I'm not asking for a whole lot. I just really want to watch this. Yeah, it's funny how like a lot of people need like I need to go on vacation. I have a bucket list, and my entire bucket list is like this expensive lifetime thing where they're going to go to different countries or try this, or it's always some like crazy outdoor, whatever, a costly thing. Like all my bucket lists are like, I want to live long enough to see the conclusion to like the next phase of DC or whatever.
Yeah.
Like all my entire bucket list is pretty much, I like stories. I want to witness stories in the most epic, high quality way possible. I don't need to necessarily go make my own. I'm cool. I just want to witness them. I'm one of those people that have I'm ultra creative, but I have very little money or motivation. So I like to see other people's work being creatively shown on screen.
Yep.
All right, so this is the episode of Joe Rogan with Elon Musk. I believe there's a video. Yeah, let me see. Oh my god, I have to sign up for.
Is this a clip or is it the full episode?
Yeah, I'm not gonna show the full episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to load up that. Oh, I can't even load it up.
Joe Rogan podcast, check it out.
All right, well,
The Joe Rogan.
Stop, Joe Rogan. Shut up. All right, so I'm just gonna give you guys a rundown, and this is gonna lead into the aliens. So during the podcast, the billionaire Elon Musk, he stated, "One thing I can state is that here I'll show you guys a link. Sorry. One thing I can state is that if I were aware of any evidence of aliens, I would come on your show and I would reveal it on your show." Which, thank you. Appreciate that. Well, further, he also said, "I'm never committing suicide." To be clear, on camera, guys, I will never commit suicide ever. So what's funny about this is the amount of people that have that will leak information, or they'll talk about something that's taboo or whatever, right? And for some reason they always commit suicide within months of that topic.
Yeah.
And most people realize that they don't, they have someone who knows more than they should. And the easiest way to make sure that person never talks is to kill them. And so they fake their death. They fake their suicide. Well, it's funny that more and more people are saying, "I would never do this. I want to be clear. I'm never going to do this." What's really sad and comical is there was a guy a couple year ago that said, "I would never do this." Then like a month later, he committed suicide. His family was like, he was very distraught in his last week. So I'm like,
yeah.
But he said, yeah, he was in his right mind. I'm like, why are you guys? And so now the family realize the family is afraid for their lives, and so they're they're promoting it.
As the mother's talking and she can see the red laser sight on the shirt.
Yeah, the red dot.
No, he was very down.
Oh, he's very down. Yeah. But that same guy said, no. So that's what's really funny about this. Like, if I had the information, I would come on and tell you. That you know what that tells me? No way they ever tell Elon Musk.
No, not a
They're
chance.
not going to trust him with that information. Okay, guaranteed.
You imagine though, right? Elon Musk with all of his tech now and what he's doing with SpaceX, right, which is pioneering stuff. Area 51 stuff potentially that isn't being shared,
right,
is way beyond any of that. So it must be eating away at him, because I bet he would love to get into Area 51.
Oh yeah,
and have a little walk around.
I almost believe that the whole Doge thing was like, yes, we're going to cut government spending and waste, but also a byproduct is maybe I get to see what's happening in Area 51. He was like, can I just come in here and make sure you're not wasting no money? Are those aliens? No.
Do you remember the British guy in the 90s, and he had Asperger's and he hacked into the Pentagon? Do you remember that one? And the US for years tried to extradite him to serve life in prison.
I don't remember that.
And the British government basically said no to it a few years back. But for years he was thinking he was going to spend life in prison, because he was saying that he looked on the Pentagon site and he basically said something like he found a file that said, what was it? Space Fleet or something like that, and it had names of personnel. And he said all of a sudden someone had suddenly logged in and realized that they were already logged on.
Right.
So he came off and they tracked him.
That's so funny, bro. Space Fleet. More than likely that was like that employee was just playing a video game at work, and now he's like pissed that they found out. All right. He also said, in reference to 3 Eye Atlas, he said it's a hell of a name. It sounds like Third Eye or something. Found interesting. So Rogan referred to Avi Loeb's statement on the comets changing course and its mineral composition, and Musk said they only exist in alloys. But whatever, you're dealing with another planet. there are cases of this thing, very nickel-rich asteroids, meaning, right, that they have it from something in space. Now, that's a question. An alloy is two metals that were mixed together. Alloys don't exist in nature, right? That we know of. Alloys don't exist in nature. Well, then, the mineral composition of the AI Atlas asteroid is an alloy? How does that work?
I will say on this at the moment, it has piqued my interest, certainly with the trajectory change has piqued my interest. Basically, this is Stargate Continuum about to happen, basically, you know.
Right.
We're going to have an alien fleet above us at any moment. So brace yourselves, everybody. It's happening.
Right, and so that's what someone said. So most alloys are human-made, but who knows how they can develop in space or on other planets. But on Earth, most alloys do not exist in nature. But maybe another planet, there is an alloy. And you got to ask the question, how were they produced on another planet? So basically, an alloy is different metals or elements that are mixed together, right? Like steel. Steel is an alloy.
Yeah.
Well, you got to ask yourself the question, how do these things mix on other planets? I don't know. I just find it very odd how a lot of meteors and asteroids have what they say are naturally occurring alloys, and I just don't understand how. How did those particular metals naturally occur? How can an alloy naturally occur? I don't really get it, and maybe someone in the chat's smarter than me and they can explain it, but I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it. It's I mean, this has been fascinating us for weeks, isn't it? This, when is it? Is meant to, if it stayed on trajectory, was it meant to be with us in January? Is that right?
Yeah,
January?
next year, January. Yeah, well, in a couple months. Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine waking up and it's like Independence Day, and you open your window and there's a blimmin' flipping big alien ship that's just hovering above your house.
A lot of us are going to be like,
that situation?
A lot of us are going to be like, I knew it. I called it. Years, I knew it. You're all wrong. Suck it. I know we're all going to die, but I want to be very clear. I called it from day one.
Do you know what? Like the far left liberals, but protesting, they will be the ones like in Independence Day where they're on top of the skyscraper with placards going,
right,
pleased to see you, and then just the beam just literally destroys them.
The best part about this was that's when I first watched this as a kid. Like I looked at a lot of like leftist protesters. Like that's them. Those are the weirdos.
I hope they bring back Elvis, wasn't it? One of them said or something. It's like
right. Another thing Elon Musk said was there are cases with this thing, very nickel-rich asteroids mean, right? That they have it from something in space. It's such a weird thing to say. Like it could be something in space. Like I hate it when people just blame it on something they don't understand. When they can't even hypothesize. And of course they don't want to say aliens. They don't want to say previous civilization or something else. Those are even more wild than just saying something out there probably did it. I don't know.
But NASA at the moment, with the location of it, they must have pretty good images of it and pretty good data on it by now. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah. So that's going to bring us to the next thing. You gotta ask yourself a question. How is it changing course? And we're going to talk about that in a second. But if you want to watch this full 3-hour interview, it's pretty good. I'll put the description I'll put the link in the description. It's on Twitter for free. You can just watch it. And it's always good. Elon with Joe Rogan is always it's always a good hang. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
all right.
It's
Let's use this to move into the 3i Atlas stuff. which I found, once again, very interesting, how it's essentially making a course correction. Natural phenomenon should not be able to make course corrections. So you got to ask yourself a question. How is it doing this? And so I'm going to ask you the question. Completely devoid of alien spacecraft. Give me a possible theory on how an asteroid can stop in its tracks and change direction.
Well, I saw something earlier, and I forget where it was, but there was a scientist talking about the fact that, natural asteroids, when the ice breaks down and it creates gas, it can create a propulsion effect, which can push it in a different direction.
Right.
But for me, when I was hearing that, I was thinking to myself, yeah, but this is close to the sun. Now, surely it's being sucked into the sun. So even if they broke down, that's not powerful enough to push it
right
out of the gravity of the sun. I mean, I'm not a specialist, but I would assume that you'd need something like an engine that's very, very powerful to be able to do that and change direction.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the sun melted like a strong pocket of hydrogen, and somehow it. So here's the video. We'll watch the video. Yeah. I don't really know. I'm trying to figure out a way for this to make any sense to me. This is from Fox News.
A physicist warning a massive comet hurtling through space could be alien technology. Joining me now is that astrophysicist, Avi Loeb. I mean, Avi, that is a pretty wild claim. Why? Why do you think this could be aliens?
Well, science is fun. We can learn by observing nature without assuming that we know the answer. The biggest compliment I got was from a U.S. Air Force pilot who said that because of you, my daughter now wants to become a scientist. The point is we see an object that...
What does that have to do with the story?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I just really want to glaze myself real quick. Like, I'm just going to tell you guys how great I am, and then I'll get into the story.
Is that... I was going to say, that image that they've got there, is that the images that they have taken from satellites? Because it looks like at the moment like someone's prostate exam footage that they've got on screen.
The urea exam.
Yeah.
It's entering the inner solar system. It's as big as Manhattan Island. And it's moving along the plane of the planets around the sun with a very small probability. It looks like its trajectory was fine-tuned. There was a glow in front of the object towards the sun rather than behind it, away from the sun, the way we see it in comets.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
The glow in front of it, as if it's moving away from the sun. As if it's fighting gravity? What?
Yeah, it's mad. That, I mean, I'm going to ask you a question quickly, mate, and everyone in the chat. I think I've talked about it before, but if you've got technology that's so advanced, you're going to have a cloaking device, aren't you? I mean, we've got stealth technology on the planet now, right? So you would, unless you want to be seen, you'd have it turned on. So if this is a case that this is an alien fleet heading to Earth, they want to be seen.
What if they're disguised as asteroids?
Yeah, very good point.
Right.
That's a Stargate episode.
Right. That's a Stargate episode, yeah. I'm just saying, like, we've talked about before. What if Stargate is like just one massive psyop to get us used to this kind of misinformation? Cool. It wouldn't be the first. It would not be the first time the government used TV and movies to condition the public for particular events.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's not the first time. They did it before. World War II, we did the same exact thing. Hollywood was effectively propped up by the CIA and the government in order to help, ease the idea of particular things with stories. So I don't know. Let's finish this.
And the good news is that it will come close to Mars, actually, by the end of this week, so we can get more.
It's good news. It might hit us and destroy the whole world. That's fantastic.
It's good news. We'll find out if it's got any phasers or photon torpedoes trained on our
This
planet.
guy is absolutely giddy about how dangerous. I love his energy, bro.
Data about it. It appears to shed the nickel without iron, which is very unusual for comets. So I'm just saying, let's keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
Keep our eyes.
I agree.
Yeah.
Let's keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
You mentioned in your study that
Yeah, I agree. Can we keep an eye on this? You seem very happy, but this seems dangerous, sir.
Do you know what's
Oh,
going
it's
to happen?
very
don't you?
extremely dangerous. Yes, we could all die. It's fantastic.
Yeah. You know what's going to happen, don't you? That everyone will wake up and there's a big flying saucer with a fleet above everyone's home, and then you'll have an announcement from from the Democrats basically saying, "Yep, the government shutdown is over. We've agreed to everything." That's going to happen.
Yeah.
We don't care anymore. Forget your snap. We're going to be wiped out any second.
So imagine President Trump. Right. So this is I have to go with a Stargate reference. So what episode was it? I think it was season 7, where the president meets Anubis. Remember that?
Oh, so cool.
Yeah,
I love it.
Let's see. Stargate. I gotta show you guys this scene.
Yeah. Don't let the suit fool you, guys. We're going to fight.
Right. It was so good.
The coolest president ever.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
And I'm
cool.
not trying to glaze again for Trump, but I fully expect this would be very much like how President Trump would react. In fact, President Trump would probably react even more unhinged. But it's so good. Yeah, I think this is the one right here.
It's just a perfect episode.
Ollie? The chairman of the Joint Chiefs is waiting for you in your office.
I don't know if it's this one.
It's not this one.
You want Lost City. You want Lost City.
I just realized that. This was the episode before.
It introduces him, doesn't it?
Yeah, right. I need Lost City.
But this is why I love Stargate SG-1, because it's so cool. This is a perfect episode. If this actually was going to happen, I want my own F302 because I'm going in.
Right,
without a doubt.
Yeah, I'm gonna find it. We have to watch this part. So I think it's in Lost City Part 1, right?
It is, yeah.
And that's 721. So let me just pull it up real quick. Luckily, I have it right here. So
it's and he's got it in a very, very good
very
definition as well.
High quality format. 721.
Do you know what? If this actually happens, I'm going to contact Brad Wright and Joe Malossi, and I'm basically going to say, "What did you know? What did they tell you to write?" Decades ago?
How did you know this before? Like, obviously, you guys are working for the government here. Okay, just a second. I'm gonna find this real quick. It's just too good. So I imagine that if aliens ever came and they wanted to speak to our quote unquote leaders, this would be the interaction we would get. Actually, if you talk while I'm trying to trying to find this.
Yeah. So, I mean, I agree with Marsha Haas in the chat. I don't think NASA are going to release that data. I don't know what the rest of you think in the chat. If they've got anything that they want to show, that they're going to keep it stuck from the general public. Anything that is this important, and it was going to be the case, they'll just keep it quiet because they don't want to cause a mass panic.
Right.
That's why they're not going to do it.
The whole mass panic. I know we've had this conversation before. The mass panic. Look, maybe that's the purpose of Hollywood propaganda, is to stop mass panic from happening.
Yeah, to ease us into an announcement.
Right, but doesn't it feel sort of demeaning? And they're like, we don't trust you not to murder each other and act crazy the second we give you this information.
I mean, to be honest, they might as well do it now because we're with everything that goes on our streets in the UK on a daily basis, no one would notice the difference. So you might as well just tell us.
Yeah, I know you guys dealing with a lot right now, but there are aliens, and it's entirely possible we pissed them off. So you're gonna have to deal with that. I can't do anything about it. I think I found it. So this is what's fully what I expect would happen if an alien race ever came here and talked to President Trump.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I think someone asked earlier, would we get the first BRANE Show? I do agree. I think we could probably negotiate. Someone at the beginning of the show asked, would we be able to get the aliens on the BRANE Show for the very first global interview? And I think we could.
Yeah, I mean, they'll be on the BRANE Show, but I'll be being actively probed. It'll be basically a snuff film.
Well, that beach AI that you did will be very, very different.
Right. Here we go.
It's a hologram.
I am Anubis.
You've got to be kidding.
You are the leader of this world.
Henry Hayes, President of the United States of America.
Donald Trump, you're fired.
One nation among many.
No more. Bow before your God.
I don't think so. However, I am willing to discuss your surrender.
Oh, that's so gangster. He chuckles and says, "So there's an alien entity so powerful that it's able to project itself into one of the most secure places on the planet."
Yeah. And
when it talks about surrender, he laughs and says, "I don't think so, but I'm happy to talk about your surrender." It's such a gangster move.
It is great.
If you possess weapons matching mine, you would have used them.
Don't let the suit fool you, fella. We're gonna fight.
You bring destruction upon yourselves.
Never going to happen.
It's so cool, man.
I mean, it's great. And again, I love how he does that, because it's basically like, look, you're going to wipe us out anyway, so we might as well just fight it out.
Yeah, we might as well go. Sorry, hold on.
Well, I love it.
Damn, Plex started playing. One thing about Plex, I need to turn off the stupid, like, when you go to that particular TV show, it just starts running. Yeah.
Yeah.
So another thing with this 3-Eye Atlas thing I thought was interesting. We're going to play the rest of that video too. I need to get this back. Hold up. Screen share. Yeah, here we go. All right, so let's play the rest of this.
It could be conducting recon on Earth, but how could it be doing that if it's millions upon millions of miles away?
Well,
Avi is so happy. He's so thrilled. Like, the look on his face is so like
giddy. Like all birthdays have come at once for him. You know?
It could release probes that will approach Earth. It could look at us from a distance. There might be a smarter kid on our cosmic block, some civilization that is more advanced than we are. And so it's a learning experience. We should just watch objects entering the solar system and check whether among the rocks there might be a tennis ball that was thrown by a neighbor.
In your gut, though, Avi, in your gut, do you really think this is aliens?
No, I think most likely it's natural. But just like in the intelligence agencies, we need to be prepared for a black swan event. And we need to monitor every object that enters the solar system from outside. This is a new era. We have the Rubin Observatory in Chile that was funded by the National Science Foundation and the Department of Energy that will detect a new object from outside the solar system every few months. And we should just be ready to a scenario where one of them might be a Voyager-like spacecraft, because we launched objects outside of...
He's not talking about the TV show, guys. He's talking about the Voyager probe.
Yeah. Black Swan event. Yeah, doesn't that make you? Does that make you like an alarm bell goes in your head when they talk about Black Swan event?
Yeah, why is it called a Black Swan event? That sounds like
are they coming to wipe us out? Is that why you're calling it a Black Swan event? You know,
Black Swan event means highly improbable, unpredictable, and unexpected occurrence that has a massive and disproportionate impact on society, finance, or technology.
Yeah, so wiping us out then, basically.
Yeah. But why do they even call it that?
I mean, again, it's like... yeah, you think they'd sugarcoat it.
Oh, it's because black swans are super rare.
Oh, okay. I was going down the route of black, as in Black Swan is like
so I guess
some
I guess that makes sense. Have you ever
relative
seen? Black swans are
the
rare,
Natalie
right?
Portman,
right? The lesbian one.
Yeah. So
I guess they're rare here where the term originated, but they're not rare in like Australia or something.
Well, one thing it tells me now, just to be on the safe side, is we need to make sure we get a pair of humpback whales ready, just in case, you know, to communicate with some giant probe that might be heading towards Earth right now.
Right. Yeah. Do we have enough whales? Because, you know, this thing's going to come and start going, and we killed all the smart whales already.
Oh dear. I mean, do you know what this also paints to me? Regardless of whether it's aliens or not, it just shows how vulnerable we are as a planet, you know, with all of the interstellar objects that could impact us at any day.
Yeah,
any moment.
even if they're not alien, like a giant rock the size of like Rhode Island, can possibly hit the planet. If that happens, a lot of people are gonna die. Most of it. A lot of civilization is gonna be set back hundreds of if not thousands of years.
Well, you look at, you know, Tunguska, you know, and Tunguska was, what was that, 1906, and we got lucky on that one because it impacted in a forest, didn't it? In a with a very low population center, but look at the damage it did there and the crater it left.
Right. So what if it hits like Florida?
If it hit London, we wouldn't notice the difference, to be honest with you.
No, but that's what I was tripping out about, because like Elon Musk keeps saying we need to be a multi-planetary species. We only have one copy of this wonderful of humanity, and we're not taking it seriously enough that we need a backup. We need a backup to humanity just in case something bad happens. Yeah, like we live on one planet. One really bad bug, really bad virus can just wipe us out.
Yep.
Just like with bananas, when they only planted one version of bananas. When one particular virus or strain of whatever it was that can infect this banana almost took out all bananas. Bananas almost went extinct because we didn't diversify bananas enough and plant them in other places. Imagine that.
It's mad.
No backup.
I mean, again, the trouble is, I mean, again, I'll ask you this question because, you know, with all the conflicts that are going on in the world at the moment, I ask myself, though, if these countries are actually working together on some contingency for the planet.
They have to be,
even though they're at conflict, because, you know, it's everybody wins or everybody loses game, isn't it? So, you know,
they literally have
whatever's going on the earth.
Yeah,
you would have to be working to make sure that there's a contingency.
There's no way around it. Like the civilized countries have to be working together for the just in cases. There's some kind of plan in place. I mean, I hope there is, or they're all just really stupid and selfish and worried about their own things, and something bad's going to happen and no one's going to be prepared for anything, and we just assume they're smart. That can be a real thing too. That's possible. I mean, am I prepared for something bad? Yeah. Do I think that a comet or something's going to hit or a nuclear bomb's going to go off that's going to make it so I have to get my go bag, throw into a car, get my kids, and head to a very specific destination that I've already chosen, that I've already sorted out, and be ready to live outside the grid. I don't think it's going to happen. But do I have a place that I've already considered? Do I have a go bag? Do I have a NetStat phone? Do I have the entirety of Wikipedia on a thumb drive in a Faraday cage with an old laptop? Yes, I do. Those things are not expensive. I literally took my old laptop and I downloaded the entirety of Wikipedia on this thing. It has four 14-hour batteries, and it's in a little Faraday bag. If something bad happens and there's no grid, no electricity, no power, I have about a month of time that I can use a laptop with access to everything humanity has learned up until like last year. Which means I can take that laptop, I can take my kids with our supplies, head to Yosemite, because that's the safest place in California, and we can develop our own little society. I have a contingency plan. Now, does the government have those plans?
Yes.
I hope.
Well, there was always. Do you remember remember that there was the big panic in 2012 about the world was going to end because of the Mayan calendar and all of that, and people were phoning NASA.
Guys, the Mayans were not that smart. They sacrificed people because it didn't rain enough. So chill out.
Yeah, and at the time, there were videos shown of China were making giant underground facilities for
the orcs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And again, because there's been a bit of a panic this week, especially in the US, because have you seen the reports that supposedly some of Trump's cabinet, they're now living on military bases? Have you seen that?
No.
They've got quarters on military bases now because they're prepared for something to happen.
They're prepared for leftists to protest?
Yeah. I mean, a question for you and a question for people in the chat, right? If it's coming, would you be one of those people that would carry on, or would you just go, look, I'm ready to go? Because I think what I might do is I might just put a box set on and just wait to get splatted, because I've had a pretty good run. And I think,
what box set would it be?
I think it's got to be an SG-1 episode, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It would have to be SG-1 for me. I probably would have just got to the end of Supernatural when that happened.
It's going to be a window of opportunity, SG-1.
Yeah, exactly. But I think to myself, do I want to help repopulate the Earth? I mean, that sounds like a lot of work. So maybe, and plus knowing how I am, I would literally be being told, we got to go now. And I'm literally trying to take a box set with me and I can't choose which ones.
Right.
So I might just go become extinct and let other people just repopulate the Earth.
But bro, I have a Plex server with thousands of hours of science fiction television. You'll be fine.
Do you know what? That's not a bad idea, mate. I mean, I could get over to you in a canoe.
Right.
So I'd be with you in a few years.
Yeah, it'll take you a few years to get here, but I'll queued up for you, bro. Just get to Yosemite, okay?
Yeah. And I get there, and there's you, Dutch Butters, and loads of them in sort of like man thongs. You've created your own exclusive society.
Yeah, someone said, isn't there a super volcano in Yosemite? I think you're talking about Yellowstone.
Yellowstone, yeah.
Yeah, Yosemite is cool, bro.
Yeah, so you're okay there. Was Yosemite the one where they filmed Star Trek V? That was Yosemite, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was Yosemite.
Yeah.
I live near Yosemite, and my dad has an old school, like, he calls it a ranch, but basically it's a property that like Native Americans used to live on, and it's very close to Yosemite, and it's very safe. Like, if I was ever gonna disappear, that's where I would disappear to, 100%.
Yeah,
and there's like drinking water, like wells. There's like springs and well springs. It's legitimately you can live off the land in Yosemite. You could.
I mean, also then that goes me down to the other thing that I've watched as well, like the paranormal stuff. Have you ever seen the documentaries Missing 411?
No, hold on, though. We're gonna go to the member section. I just realized the time.
We'll do that. Yeah.
So, guys, we're going to go to the members section. We're going to finish this conversation in the members section with y'all. Take our pants off and get a little weird, okay? But in order to become a member, you got to hit that join button, bottom left. Become a member. It's real, and I'm going to do super chats too. Don't worry. Now, what we're going to talk about, we're going to finish this conversation. We're going to talk about aliens, conspiracy theories. We're going to get real deep and nerdy with it. We're going to talk to you specifically. So if you want to join our tinfoil hour, the afterglow, if it will, you got to either become a member, because it's going to automatically transfer you. Like when this ends, if you stick around, just hold on, the stream will end, and then we'll automatically transfer you to the next stream.
Take you in.
If you're not a member, it's going to ask you to become one, or it's just not going to send you. So if you're not a member, hit the join button. If not, that's cool, and you can totally just, You
got to get in here, Mike. Mexican Iron Man's in the chat. He's a member on the other one, not this one. So.
He's a member of the main channel. Well, I think you're a member of this channel. Are you not, Mike?
I thought he was.
I thought you were.
Have you been in the members chat before? I'm sure.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen you. Well, we're gonna find out. Oh, he is now. He just became a member. Thank you, Mike. Iron Mike.
Legend.
All right, so it's a quick super chats here. Funny and Dark did specify that it's on his channel under Evil Ewoks. We will watch that in the members section, my friend.
Cool.
Kenneth the Rogue, thank you for that super chat. Kenneth the Rogue for $5 says Sun's gravity is pulling it ahead of it on an inward trip, being an outward. Oh. So that's why, I don't know. I sort of understand what you're saying, Ken, but not 100%. He's saying that because it's being pulled, it's, I don't know. I guess that makes sense. That makes sense? I mean, it would still create the comet trail the other way, right?
Yeah, it would. We'll get into that in the members chat.
Would it though? No, it's being pulled. The comet trail is not. There's no fission. There's no friction in space. So it's not like. I don't know. I don't understand it. Yeah, what actually, when a comet does fly, what is causing it to leave the trail? Like, why would anything be coming off that thing if there's no friction in space?
Yeah, you would think, I mean, again, I'm no expert, but you would think it's gravity and external forces.
Right.
That are causing it to propel in certain directions. So planets that it's coming into vicinity with, I don't know, black holes, other space elements.
So if it's moving towards something, I guess that would make sense. Okay, so the gravity is pulling it. Okay, so the gravity is pulling it, so that's why you're seeing the stuff come off of it. Oh, I get it, Ken. That makes sense.
Right, okay.
Mexican Iron Man became a member. And with that, my friends, we are going to the members section. We love you, but we love you pieces. If you can't join us, that's cool. Come and hang out with us tomorrow on John's channel. The link is in the description, or just look him up. And that's for the Stargate watch party. And that's a real fun time. Hope you guys can join us. If you can't come to that, you can't come to the members section, then maybe hit up John's show on Monday for his live show. And if you can't do that, then we'll be back here next week at the same bad time, same bad channel. John, got something to say on the way out?
I just wanted to say, anybody who isn't joining us for the members chat, you really should, because we're going to talk great stuff about UFOs and strange phenomena. But it's been a pleasure having you in the chat. It's been a fun show with my mate Brian, and if you don't come in, we'll see you next week. But other than that, have a safe week. Thanks all.
Thank you for everyone that gifted memberships. Thank you for everyone that became a member in super chats. We love you guys. Thank you for liking and subscribing, and we'll see you guys in the members section. Adios. Here comes the... Hey, we actually have to put a link to your channel. I almost forgot about that. Can we do that right now?
Yeah, it's fine.
They can't find the description. So right now, the show should have ended, but I've kept it on, so I can put a link in the description. Where is it? I found it. Sci-Fi Chronicles. Guys, you can hear my voice right now. I'm putting Sci-Fi Chronicles right now in the description before I forget. I'm sorry, in the chat. There it is. That's tomorrow. And now I'm actually ending the show, and I'll see you in the